Hello everyone, good afternoon. It is Sarah Shipton here from Scrapbooking with Sarah, and I'm coming live to you today for our Technique Tuesday class on Tuesday, February 11, 2025, and I am super excited. I know I start that every week because I literally am super excited to be coming live to you today to share this week's scrapbooking challenge with you. And I am just looking at this beautiful combination of colours in the natural light here in my office, and I'm really happy with the way that this particular layout turned out. So I'm looking forward to sharing it with you all today. Hi Sonia, there is Miss Sonia. I hope you are having a lovely day. I hope you are keeping cool today, ladies. We are in Adelaide, South Australia, and it is hot, hot, hot here today. So it is perfect weather for me to be inside teaching today, but also doing some prep work for our upcoming workshops in March and April, which I am very much looking forward to. So this month I am teaching from the paper suite Meant to Be. And you will find the Meant to Be paper suite in the January 2025 scrapbooking brochure. There is only a digital version of this brochure, so you'll find it in our Facebook group. I have emailed it out as well this year via my email subscription. And the scrapbooking brochure is an addition to the existing range that Stampin' Up has with their annual catalogue. So they have been fabulous in pivoting and bringing scrapbooking products to us. I have opted to work with a different scrapbooking workshop kit every month so I can continue the consistency and the continuity that I have had with my scrapbooking customers, audience and community for some time now. And there are 4 scrapbooking workshop kits in this brochure. And this month I am teaching from the Meant to Be. I have shared the scrapbooking workshop kit layouts last week in our Technique Tuesday class. And so today, the layout that I'm sharing with you for our weekly challenge uses some papers that are left over from this scrapbooking workshop kit and also the die cuts, which I'm going to share with you shortly. But I have actually invested in a couple of other additional products from this particular suite. So I did purchase the Cute as Can Be Designer Series paper pack. Now the reason I got this particular paper pack is that the papers that are in this Designer Series paper pack are different to the ones that come in your scrapbooking workshop kit. So you don't get this entire paper pack in this workshop kit. You only get the papers in the workshop kit that you need to create these 3 double-page scrapbook layouts. In the scrapbooking workshop kits, you also get exclusive paper, and you'll know which paper is exclusive because it is single-sided in your kit. So I did decide to invest in this paper pack on its own. I didn't get the paper pack and sticker sheet because the sticker sheet that comes here is the exact same sticker sheet that comes in your scrapbooking workshop kit, and you will have some leftover stickers from this sticker sheet to be able to create some extra layouts with. Now, if you are a massive fan of this paper suite and you can see you doing lots of layouts, then my recommendation would be to get the paper pack with the sticker sheet, so you can get the papers on their own, or you can get it as a pack where you get the papers and the stickers together. Okay. I did also invest in a packet of this 2-tone cardstock. So these colors coordinate with the colors in the Meant to Be suite, as you can see down here. And these sheets of cardstock here are 2-tone. So again, the sheets of cardstock that you get in your scrapbooking workshop kit are the exact amount that you will need to create these 3 scrapbooking layouts. I opted to get an additional pack of cardstock because you want to make sure that you've got cardstock that coordinates with your Designer Series paper. You can use this for photo mats, or you can see here in this instance here, I have used it as my base pages for my scrapbooking layout. Hi Joe, hi Doreen, thanks so much for joining us today. I hope you lovely ladies are keeping cool. Now, the other reason why I decided to invest in this two-tone cardstock pack is that, as some of you may remember, Stampin' Up! Have got like 50 colours in their range. And as it stood, or really as it stands, their cardstock colours, you could not purchase as individual packs of colours with single sheets in them like we did when we were with Close to My Heart, okay? So what I had been doing was purchasing the cardstock as a colour collection. So you can get a whole cardstock assortment pack in a collection. So we've got subtles here, you've got brights, regals, you've got neutrals, and then you've got the 2024 to 2026 colour family and the 2023 to 2025 colour family. So if I wanted to use the colour Bubble Bath in this instance here, which is my coordinating nail polish, if you will, if I wanted to use create with Bubble Bath, I had to purchase this whole packet of cardstock assortment in 12 by 12. There are 10 colours in the Subtles colour collection, and you get 2 sheets of each colour. This cardstock is thicker than the two-tone cardstock, so I have actually used the Bubble Bath from the cardstock assortment because I had that in stock in my collection. And so this cardstock I've used as the base, and it is not two-tone, okay? So I had already invested in each one of these colour collections, a whole assortment pack. And the reason I wanted to get the two-tone cardstock as well is that, for obvious reasons, it's two-tone, it's a lighter colour, and I only had 2 sheets of Bubble Bath. So this packet's going to give me 12 sheets in total, but 2 of Old Olive, 2 of Pool Party, 4 of Petunia Pop, and 4 of Bubble Bath. Now, Stampin' Up! Is committed to introducing all of their colours as two-tone packets, and you will be able to invest in them as entire packs. So if you really like Petunia Pop, you can get a whole packet of Petunia Pop, and I'm allowed to cash and carry this cardstock, so you will see me selling these as individual sheets at my workshops, which many of you have been used to. You can just come and grab what you want. But as you can see here, we've only got 10 plus the White Willow. We've only got 11 of the 50 odd colours so far. By the time May rolls around this year, we will have all of the individual colours available in two-tone cardstock packs, okay? So that just gives you a little bit of a rundown on the products that I am using today on my layout, and how I have bulked up the leftovers from my scrapbooking workshop kit by getting these papers and this cardstock separately, okay? The other thing that I did invest in, I haven't used it on today's layout, but I did also get a packet of these tiny bee trinkets, which was super cute. These are actually in the January mini catalogue, but I could not go past these. I've used these actually on my scrapbooking workshop kit layout. So it came with die cuts, which looks super cute, and it came with stickers, but it just needed some bling. So I actually put some of the little tiny bee trinkets on there, and I used my mini glue dots to stick them down on my layouts, okay? So let's talk about the layout, the pattern that I'm sharing with you today. We are working with a new how-to pattern book. So we finished volume 2. I've been working backwards for a couple of years now, and we are back at volume 1. So we've got another 18 weeks worth of layouts here. Don't ask me what I'm going to do when we finish with this particular book. So I know I've got lots of patterns and workshop guides on my computer, so I might have to be uploading files into our scrapbooking group for you to work with. But we are starting with pattern number 1, which is on pages 6 and 7 of the Make It From Your Heart Volume 1 how-to book. So these patterns are copyrighted by Close to My Heart. They are from 2012, so we are really going back in time here, girls, with these particular patterns. So what you're going to see me do over the coming weeks is a lot of these patterns are not going to necessarily have the standard 4x6, 4x4, 3x4, 3x3 inch type photos. In some instances, we're going to have like these really random sizes, okay? So I want you to bear with me because, as you know, I love to get more than just a few photos on my scrapbooking layouts to really tell the story, document my memories. And so in this instance here, you can see the photo sizes they use were 4 by 2.5 inches. Now, that particular size is going to work really well for you if, like back in the day in 2012, I'm trying to think when I converted to a digital camera well before then. But, you know, like photos that you've got sitting in packs and drawers and boxes at home, your older photos, you've probably got a lot of waste of space around those photos, which means you can crop them down to a smaller size. In our Facebook group, I have already posted this pattern and the layout yesterday, and someone's already participated, Pauline, and shared that the photos that she scrapbooked were 19 years old. So typically you're going to have a lot of waste of space around those photos because you had a film camera, unless you were using the zoom. Some film cameras didn't even have a zoom. It was just literally point and shoot. Then you would have a lot of excess waste of space in your photos where you could cut them down. In this instance here, I did not. So I'm just going to give you my tips for this week's layout. You've got 2 sheets of matching paper. I've opted for cardstock in Bubble Bath. And then you are going to cut some pattern paper down. Now, because I used like 3x3 and 3x4 inch photos, you'll see here with the instructions that you're going to cut 2 separate pieces and your photo is going to sit in the middle. I have not done that. I've literally just cut strips of pattern paper and sat them on top of my 12 by 12 inch base page, okay? So to give you the measurements for your strips, all of the strips were 10 inches in length. Let me just add this up. 12. Yes, so all of your strips were 10. I'm sure they were 12 inches. Yes, because obviously we've got this space here that we're not using. So yes, it will be 10 inches because that is half an inch and half an inch. 11 inches. So 11 inches in length for your strips, and the width I didn't change. So the width of the paper is 2.5 inches. Let me just add this up. 5, 6, 7, that's 12. Take away the 4. Yeah, so 11, okay? So 11 inches in length and then 2.5 inches in width. So you can see I've done 2 strips that coordinate here, 2 strips that coordinate here, and then 2 strips that coordinate here. So this pattern paper is actually from the Cute as Can Be designer series paper. So some of the paper sheets in here are different to the paper sheets that you're going to get. I should turn one of those over so you can see the other side because they are double-sided. The sheets in here are going to be different to the designer series paper that you're going to get in your scrapbooking workshop kit. And they're using a palette of colours. We've got Old Olive, Petunia Pop, Bubble Bath, Pool Party, and Daffodil Delight. So you can see here some of these patterns you will see in your scrapbooking workshop kit, and then others are going to be different, okay? So bulking that up with that excess paper from using your leftovers from your scrapbooking workshop kit is going to be super helpful. So I've opted with some Love Heart paper here. I've opted for pattern papers that are different to the papers that were in my scrapbooking workshop kit, just so you can see the variety. When I say I've used leftovers from my scrapbooking workshop kit, I'm talking about the die cuts and the stickers, okay? So you're going to get 1 whole sheet of these die cuts, and you're only going to use a handful of them on the layouts that are in your scrapbooking workshop kit. So you've got Love Hearts and Flowers in Old Olive, Pool Party, Bubble Bath, and Petunia Pop, and these are like 2-tonal, okay? And what I had gone and done was actually just punched out all my Love Hearts, and then I decided that I was going to use them as this embellishment border running up the right hand side of my, I have only, you can see that I've not put a 5x7 inch photo on here. And in fact, I've actually cut my photos down and created a little bit of a collage. So this photo is 5 inches in width, but then I have cut it at 3.5 inches through here. And then these two photos are also at 3.5 inches high to fit the 7 inches. But then the width of these smaller ones, I've cut them at 2.5 inches. And then I've literally just stuck them onto the photo mat and met them in the middle and the sides here. So it looks like a 5x7 inch photo, but it's not. So that's always a really great tip for you, that if you haven't got a 5x7 inch photo and you don't want to print one, you can actually cut your photos down and make a little collage to fit the photo mat. In terms of where I've placed the rest of my photos, I kind of just worked with the pattern to give me like a little bit of guidance there. And I've started with a photo at the top and then one in the middle and then moving down. So I've got a 3x4 inch photo here. These are 3x3 and 3x3, 3x4 inch. This one I had to do 4x4 so you could get the beach club in, but also the jetty here. And that's a 3x4 as well. The stickers were left over from my scrapbooking workshop kit. This sticker here was also left over from the scrapbooking workshop kit. And then the little love hearts that I punched out from my die cut sheet, I've actually used some Stampin' Dimensionals on there just to stick them on, and you can see that has just popped that love heart up. I've started with a little love heart one here, and then I've just done a zigzag border up the top of that strip of cardstock there. Now you might recognize these cute little blings. These are actually new, girls, and I found them on my website. I'm pretty sure they were in the online exclusive section. Now the online exclusive section, you can order them obviously online. You can still order them directly with me, but the reason they're called online exclusives is that they're not in a printed catalog or a format anywhere. Now, how I found these, I did actually go through the online exclusives, but how I found this particular product is when I'm looking for embellishments to coordinate with a paper suite. So you can see here, I've got stickers. I can get a stamp and a die cut, but sometimes I just want like some ribbon or some bling just to finish off the layout. So what I do is I go to my website and there's a search function in the top right hand corner, and I typed in all of these colors. So I type in, for example, bubble bath, and everything that has got, every product in the Stampin' Up range that has got bubble bath in it will actually come up. And that is how I found these super cute, they're called two-tone sparkle gems, because they've actually got the colors in here of bubble bath and also boho blue. Now, while boho blue is not one of the colors from the Meant to Be suite, the blue is actually Pool Party, it's pretty much close enough, and you can see it really just helps to give a little bit of pop and shimmer and shine to my layout, because who doesn't love a little bit of bling, girls, right? It just makes me so happy. And I've actually used up the top here in my, I've created a little title border here. So I've just popped a couple of the little two-tone sparkle gems on there. And then you can see here where I've got them here near the journal box, and then just a couple with that border, love heart border, going up the right-hand side of my page. Now, these are already adhesive backed, so you just peel them off and you stick them down on your layout. I will pop links to all the products that I'm sharing with you today in the comments section. Now, as I mentioned, it was bubble bath and boho blue. The really cool thing, we are actually going to be using boho blue in April. I'm pretty sure that's one of the colors we're going to be doing in April. Okay, so I just love how that's just going to be super fun to use on my scrapbook pages. Everything needs a little bit of bling. Okay, and then to finish off, I have created, now in terms of placement, I mentioned that I did the placement of the photos how it had in the pattern, and then I've kind of just done a mirror image of that on the right hand side as well. And then I've just kept the border, I kind of eyeballed the borders here, made sure that these photos lined up here through the middle, And then I've just eyeballed the border length between here and here with these two photos. I've popped a love heart sticker over the top of my photo, and then I had the Just Be You sticker left over from my scrapbooking workshop kit. If you do get the scrapbooking workshop kit, I will point out that they do use this sticker as a journal box on one of the layouts, but I actually opted to journal on the scrapbook layout instead. So that's why I ended up with this one left over, and I'm using it here on this layout instead. So of the stickers, all I have left over is this little bumblebee here. And actually, he was meant to be used somewhere, and I thought it was a little bit of overkill, so I took him off. And then some of this sticker strip, and then I've got this old olive sticker border as well. I'm just getting, maybe we weren't using it. Actually, no, we didn't. Sorry, don't listen to me. The hexagon wasn't on here. Okay, it was just journaling straight on there. So no, you will have that leftover hexagon sticker for another layout. So let's talk about the stamping now, because obviously that is the part of the title and what I'm doing my Technique Tuesday class on today. So in the pattern here, they've got a title at the top here, 3 by 5.5 inches. I think I stuffed up my cutting. It's definitely 3 inches wide, but it's not 5.5. I think I cut that at 5. I cut it at 5. I cut it at 3 by 5, but it worked out fine. And then I've used this as my title box. So I've stamped a perfect day here using some of the coordinated inks. I've opted for Pool Party, Petunia Pop, and Old Olive were one of the colors as well. And then I've just done some dovetail with the paper here and the stickers. I had this blue bit of sticker left over, so I stuck that along the top and then just created this little dovetail cluster with some of the gems on here. I did stamp the word day first in the center, just so I had the sticker up the top here, but I stamped day first just so I had a little bit of an idea as to where I wanted my embellishment cluster to go there. And to be honest with you, I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. I was second guessing myself, I'm not going to lie, as I was kind of putting it all together. But once I did that title and popped that on, I was really happy with how it finished up. So let's do some stamping, girls. I am using the Documenting the Day stamp set. Now, this is actually a stamp set that you can get for free during Celebration. This runs until Feb 28, and with a qualifying order of $100 or more, you can pick free Stampin' Up! Products, and they are exclusive to this promotion. So you can't buy them separately. You have to earn them with your orders. So we've got the Documenting the Day stamp set here. This is free with a $100 order. And I am using this stamp set on my layout today. Something that I have done with my Stampin' Up! Stamps is actually take them off the carrier sheet, and then I've been sticking them on the inside of my stamp tray container. I don't know what you call this thing, holder. It kind of looks like a DVD holder. You can see this has had a good workout. So I'm just taking my stamp off and popping that on my block. I can use the line on my block to line that up so it's straight there. Good to go. We stamped a perfect day. I'm just going to demonstrate the day. So I've got my stamp on my block. I have got my Stampin' Pierce mat. I'm really enjoying stamping with this mat. It's quite firm, and off the top of my head, I think it's only like $8. But you can use the Stampin' Pierce mat to obviously do piercing. I'm not really big on that technique in my scrapbooking, admittedly. So if you were, you'd probably use like one side for stamping and maybe the other side for the piercing, depending on, like, you know, you're not going to go that far through. The holes won't go all the way. But I'm using it for my stamping. I'm finding having that firmer mat for my stamping with Stampin' Up! Is really helpful because the ink pads are so juicy compared to what I was used to working with before when I was a maker with Close to My Heart. They are so juicy, and so using this harder mat, I actually find that it works a lot better with the classic Stampin' pads. So I've got Pool Party here. It's a water-based dye ink. You just flip open the stamp case like so, and then you're going to slide the lid back into itself. Okay, now if you find, because the stamp pads are super inky, if you find that it's got too much excess ink on there, you can use your bone folder just to wipe off any excess ink. I did find a tip about that from a fellow Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so I'm learning lots of new things very gratefully from the other demonstrators that were already with the company. And so that was one tip I picked up from one of the existing demonstrators. I've got my stamp on my block here. Okay, so I'm just going to ink that up. Now, because it is so juicy, you don't need to apply. You can feel like I'm actually lifting that up. You can hear it too. You don't need to apply a huge amount of pressure, okay? And the other thing I will say is that you might look at this, I'm rocking that block and I shouldn't be. So we're just very lightly tapping the stamp onto the ink, okay? I shouldn't have this excess ink on my block here. And don't be concerned if you can see it kind of doesn't look smooth when you're applying the ink onto the stamp. I was a little worried about that, but you will find we're just applying pressure and stamping that down onto my cardstock there. You will find, because that's literally how it kind of came out when I initially stamped it, but as the ink settles into the cardstock, you will find that it won't be splotchy like that, okay? It's just a different, it's different to what we are used to in that it's still a water-based dye ink, but the Stampin' Up! Inks are actually on foam, whereas the Close to My Heart ink pads were on felt. And the felt was really hard, like you could tap really hard with your stamp and your block, whereas this you don't really need to. You just very neat. I hear Stampin' Up! Demonstrators use the terminology kiss. Just very lightly kiss it with the ink pad there. So if there are actually, I will say, if there are any existing Stampin' Up! Demonstrators watching this and you've got any tips that you'd like to pop in the comments below, please do so. So once we have stamped on our cardstock, what we're going to do, so we've got the word day. The thing I love about this is that there's actually little connectors here. So it's one whole stamp, but the letters come out individually and you won't get ink on the connecting pieces of the stamp because they're a little bit lower than the stamp itself, okay? Once you have done your stamping, you are going to want to clean and condition your stamp. So I'm going to introduce you here to the Stampin' Scrub. So there's rubber feet on this. It folds out like so. And there are two sides to the Stampin' Scrub. One side, in the little corner here, there's a cutout piece and there's some pictures of a little icon of some raindrops. That indicates that this side's meant to get wet. And then the sunshine icon indicates that this side is meant to stay dry. So we're just going to get some of our stamping mist. This is the stamp cleaner, so it helps to clean and condition your stamps. You're just going to mist up your side of your Stampin' Scrub that is allowed to get wet, and then we are just going to rub that into the Stampin' Scrub there, and then you're going to dry it off on the other side like so, okay? So that's going to help to keep your stamps clean and conditioned. So you want to make sure that you do that before you take it off the block and put it back into your, you can keep it on your carrier sheet if you like. I'm just used to doing it like that because that's how I've done it for like 11 years. And so I'm just literally putting them inside the case and then I know where they're meant to go. The other really cool thing, what was I going to tell you then? I just thought of something then. The other product that you've got to clean your stamps with, I haven't wet this, so it's actually dry. This is the Stampin' Chamois, okay? So this obviously is dry, so it's like rock hard at the moment. But you would wet this just with like water, running water from your tap, and then it's like a chamois, obviously, it absorbs the water. You could use the Stampin' Chamois instead if you wanted to clean your stamps. But I will say that the stamp I've demonstrated today is a photopolymer stamp. There's also another type of stamp which is a cling stamp, And this is something that was very different to us for those of us that transitioned over from Close to My Heart. So this is a cling stamp. This is a red rubber stamp. And so this one has some assembly to do if you invest in a cling stamp. When you do purchase a cling stamp, I will send you a really cool video, only like a 3-minute video that you can watch on YouTube. There are instructions here, but many of us are visual people. So having that visual video to watch is really helpful. So if you're going to be using cling stamps, Stampin' Up! Do recommend that you use the Stampin' Scrub and the Stampin' Mist to clean your cling stamps. So I just kind of I used to use a stamp chamois when I was a maker with Close to My Heart. And then when I transitioned over and started working with red rubber stamps, which I hadn't worked with before, the recommendation was to use the scrubber and the mist. So that's why I invested in these two tools to help me to keep my stamps clean and conditioned. And you can use the Stampin' Scrub and the mist with your photopolymer stamps as well. So that's really handy to know there. So that is our Stampin' Scrub. That is our Stampin' Mist. This is the Documenting the Day stamp set. You can obviously use any of the colour inks to do your stamping. I just want to show you another layout. This is actually a layout that I did with my demonstrators in my team a couple of weeks ago, and we've also used the same stamp set on this layout, and this features the Bloom Impressions 12 by 12 inch designer series paper, which you can get for free as part of the celebration promotion that is running. That paper pack is also free with a $100 order or more. We also recreated these cards, but I don't have them here to share with you. I will pop some photos up in our Facebook group. You can see I've stamped the word day here. I've used Shy Shamrock, and then What a Wonderful. So it is definitely a stamp set that I can see me using quite regularly for scrapbooking titles. And you can mix it around as well. So you can have a perfect day, what a wonderful day, documenting the day, oh what a day, one fine day, or a perfect day in the sun. What a wonderful day in the sun. You get the gist. We did the love heart. You can see I've got some random stamping on this layout here with the love heart. And we also did a technique called, oh my gosh. So Stampin' Up! Call it stamping off. But I had always known it as, oh my gosh, now I've had a mental blank. Because I was thinking about what Stampin' Up! Call it. So they call it stamping off. And when I was a maker with Close to My Heart, we used to call it second generation stamping, right? So stamping off just means it's the same thing, right? So what we do is we put, I'm going to grab the little love heart here. We pop the love heart on it, stamping off. So you would stamp off on some scrap paper first before you stamp on your project. So I hope that makes sense. All the different terminologies. So that is my Technique Tuesday class for you lovely ladies today. I hope that you have enjoyed learning some tips about this particular layout, week 2 for February. I will share this video to our Facebook group. I will put links in the comments below with all of the goodies that I have shared. And if you are not in my Facebook group, you'll be able to watch this later on my YouTube. So thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Keep cool, and I can't wait to see what layouts you create with this week's challenge. Bye for now.